So my thing for tonight, we're going to talk about the lack of heating within OregonDOC. Sammy, if you have any information on like the federal heating system, we can also talk about that.
I haven't heard anything, but that doesn't necessarily mean there's not issues.
Okay.
I did hear, isn't there issues in Washington too?
I believe Rita was saying something about Washington on Twitter or Facebook, I believe.
Yeah, I believe so.
So I have reports out of Snake River, OSCI, and Two Rivers. So pretty much one side of the state to the other side of the state.
This is just ridiculous. How does this shit happen?
Well, it happens because nobody pushes DOC, and there's not many people that want to go against against DOC and their dumbness.
Because of their repercussions.
Yeah,
because they're fearful of the retaliation. I mean, they can lose their privileges of visiting. They can lose connection with them altogether. It's insane.
It is. And so speaking of the retaliation, I did a phone call to OSCI, and the guy asked me for my first and last name. I denied my last name, and he ends up saying, okay, well, since you're not going to give your last name, we're going to end the call here, and hung up.
Why is it necessary?
It's not, there is no reason for him to have my last name.
Absolutely not.
None whatsoever. So I'm going to try and share this video about OSCI, and let me know if you can hear the audio. If I can play it. Hello.
What?
I'm trying to play this and it's not going.
Hit
you
the
can tell
play
it's my
button.
first time doing this.
There you go.
Oh, there we go. Can you guys hear it?
No.
No?
No.
Let it play for a sec.
Okay.
Nope.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Oh, what in the world?
Yeah, let me see if I can access what you sent me and play it through my mic.
That's odd.
Do we have to be muted in order to?
I don't know. I've never done this. That's why I was hoping Rita would show up and give us some insight on this.
Here we go.
Hi, Nathan. My name is Steven. We've talked before through email. I have gotten some information from the inside that the heat isn't working in the units. What's your last name, Steven? I don't need to divulge that information. Just gonna note your phone number here. Is there a reason that you are nervous about revealing your identity? Retaliation within the inside. Have you had any experience with me retaliating against you? I don't know what you're referring to as our prior communication, but have you had any experience being retaliated against from me? Not from you, no. Okay, so is there a reason that you would not reveal that information to me?
I believe first name is fine. I don't think there's a reason to have to divulge my last name.
So here's the situation.
Mm-hmm.
We receive hundreds of inquiries, both from AICs and from those outside the institution.
Mm-hmm.
And high percentage of these inquiries result in significant workload, some of which do not result in improvements to service or care for any AIC within this institution. And so just as you are trying to protect yourself through hiding your identity, I need to inform you that as a staff, we have a great deal of work already, just doing the work. Now, when we additionally chase down the concerns of those who may or may not be legitimate, it takes away from the work that we already understand we must do by rule, policy, and law. Okay? So my request of you to reveal your last name is a request for you to be respectful of the very serious work that we do, and to understand that we as employees of the Oregon State Correctional Institution and the Department of Corrections reveal who we are to our AICs and to anyone who calls. So it is disrespectful to deny that information, understanding the combination of our workload and the respect that we offer you. So I'm going to ask you one more time. What is your last name?
They don't want to talk hardly ever. But there's about 20 seconds left of that. And it pretty much just continues that way.
Which is good.
What is disrespectful is what they are doing to these inmates.
Correct.
It has nothing to do with him and his fucking job.
Correct. So, since I didn't divulge my last name, he ended up hanging up, and he ended up calling me back. I'm going to go to the part on this video where he calls me back. I'm going to mute my mic, and we'll see if it works that way.
All right.
Maybe not, because now I can't get it to play at all.
Hit that play button in the middle.
I did. I'm on two screens, so it's like, which one do I press? Okay, hold on.
The fact that he called you back, he has access to your number. What the?
Well, yeah, he has the voice or the caller ID because it was a cell phone.
So then why does he need your last name?
He doesn't, but technically the cell phone's not even in my name, so.
Are you talking about the voicemail?
Okay, let me know if you can hear.
I got nothing.
No.
Well, son of a gun.
Are you talking about the voicemail that he left?
Yes.
I have that right here too, if you want me to play it.
Let her rip.
Voice messages. First voice message. Today, Friday, January 12th.
And I don't care if his number goes out.
12 p.m. From phone number 503-856-2524. Duration 40 seconds.
Hello, Stephen. This is Nathan Warren from Oregon State Correctional Institution. You called me about 10 minutes ago, stating that you had heard that heat was not working in the unit. In response to your inquiry, I contacted our physical plant management team and asked them about the heat in the unit, and I received assurance that the heat in the unit is functioning properly. I appreciate your inquiry. If you have any further questions or concerns, please email those to me. Okay? Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
So in that one, he's telling me not to call, to do it through email only.
Because he can access who your name is and Google your email address. And it would,
Well, he already has my email stuff.
but they can access what your last name is through your email.
Yeah.
Now,
But
what kind of smoke is that the heat is actually working, but yet you are getting reports that it is not?
correct.
I've had several
I have
reports that it's not,
images.
and there's ice inside on the windows, on the inside, right next to where our loved ones are sleeping. Like right by their heads.
I can honestly.
Sammy, you're frozen.
So I can, while she's reconnecting, I can give a little insight into how the heat is dispersed in the units. It's a very old system. It's operated by steam, and where the hottest part of it is right above the staff desks, like right there where the COs sit most of their shift. And from there, it's a very long shaft with little outshoots every so.
Yeah, so it is done by steam, and it's like super far away. The chases that the heat comes through are nasty as can be.
What temperature? Well, the guys can't tell. But Jesus, how are they staying warm?
So OSCI, they get 3 blankets during the winter, which usually they don't even come back after winter to get the extra one. So you get the 3 blankets, you get a pair of thermals, I believe 2 sweaters, and a jacket.
Mm-hmm.
2 Rivers, on the other hand, which is about a 6-hour drive from me, they get 2 blankets, and then the normal clothing. They don't get thermals unless they're, I think, on the minimum side, and they have to work outside to be able to get the thermals. Snake River, they get 2 blankets, maybe 3 blankets, and then it depends if you're on the outside of the unit or the inside-ish of the unit, depending on the blankets.
So wait a minute. When you say if they're on the minimum side, like minimum security?
Mm-hmm.
Correct. So 2 Rivers has 2 prisons on 1 ground.
Well,
So the medium side is fenced and the minimum side is unfenced besides the rec yard.
what the fuck difference does it matter security level, what they give you to keep warm?
Because they look at it as the minimum side, they get to go out of the unit to work outside the prison. And so if it's cold, they need to be warm so that they can do more slave labor.
But they all get cold at night.
Correct.
And as far as that goes, some of the hacks that the AICs have been using is, drinking hot sauce to try and heat themselves up. Some of the units have air in the cells, so drinking hot sugar water to try and stay warm from the inside out. Wearing all of their clothes at once and bundling up in all of their blankets just to try and stay warm throughout the night. Those are the 3 that I'm aware of so far.
That's disgusting.
They should not have to go to those lengths just to stay warm and to keep from freezing. It's ridiculous.
So this is Two Rivers Correctional Institution over in Umatilla. So each one of these green spots you see on the screen is the grass area, and then these are the units. And so this is the medium side, and then the minimum side's out over the fence.
Sorry about that. I don't know how much of that you heard before I froze up.
I don't know.
I was giving little hacks like that I've heard that they're using to stay warm, like drinking hot sauce,
the hot sauce,
hot sugar, yeah, hot sugar water, because some of the units have those little hot water dispensers there.
Yeah, that's
but you have to hold the button. Yeah, so drinking hot sugar water, and then of course putting on as many of the clothes that they have, and then bundling up in all their blankets immediately afterwards, just to try and maintain heat and keep from freezing at night.
Yeah.
It's absolutely ridiculous and inhumane.
So this is like the minimum camp over here, the minimum side. And then they had to go out over here and work in these green buildings. So these guys out here, they get the thermals. These guys in here don't get thermals.
That doesn't make any damn sense at all, because they're still in the same damn facility.
Correct.
The temperature is still the same.
Correct. But they're thinking is these guys are outside more to work than these guys are, because these guys here can't come outside the fence because they're considered like the higher risk offenders.
But that doesn't make sense, because they're all in the same goddamn place. The temperature is the same. I don't care if you're inside or outside. They still have to sleep at night.
Yep. Correct. So the reports that we were getting is last night is the ice in the windows, and then I got another one this morning of ice in the windows on another unit. So it's...
Yeah, there's ice on the windows in several units, or at least 2 to 3 that I'm aware, like 2 that I'm aware of for sure.
So then there's 3 then, because there's unit 11, unit 4, and then now you told me about 3.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Sammy.
Where did I go?
You fell and came back.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, because you were in the middle, and I just had to reapprove you to come back up.
Where I'm not even touching it.
I don't know. No idea.
I'm going to blame it on the weather.
So stupid. This is just so stupid.
It is. It is. So I even hold DOC accountable. Do you have the recording from Snake River?
I'm not sure. Let me look.
If not, I can pull it up on TikTok. So I have an ex-employee in the chat on Facebook. I don't know how to get that over onto Restream, but she says, I remember wearing thermal underwear under my clothes while working at OSCI, and that's a staff member or an ex-staff member.
Hello.
Was it Andrea Dominguez from SRCI?
No, the one from the AIC.
Oh, I don't think I have that one.
Okay, hold on just a second. I'm going to see if I can get it.
Is it the one with the puppy treats in the background?
No.
Okay.
That's that's totally different. To share audio, share a tab or screen instead. You know what? We're just going to share the entire screen. Aha, that's what it is. Maybe.
Well, give it a whirl.
But it doesn't give me the option to click the share button after I click allow the audio. What in the world? Oh, I guess I have to click on what screen I'm going to allow it to. So over here. Okay. I wonder why Ding Donger Head had issues, because now I'm having issues.
Is there still no heat?
Can you hear it?
Yep.
No.
Okay.
None?
Oh, wait.
Did they say why?
Cold as ice in here.
Is it cold and ice? Is it just your unit or other areas?
It's other units too.
Did they say why they're not being turned on or why there's no heat?
No, I don't ask.
I know. Are they giving extra layers just in case to keep you guys warm?
We just get our usual blankets, and that's 3.
That's 3?
When it comes to winter, we only get 3,
Even when it's cold?
even when it's cold.
I'm sorry, bud.
And we get 1 thermal top and 1 thermal bottom now.
1 thermal bottom and 1 thermal top. Is the showers cold too?
No, those things are hot.
Those are hot. Finally.
That's hot enough to burn.
So that's from the an AIC on the inside.
Here's the thing, though, is with the showers, they are hot. It's only for a short amount of time. They have to be like first there in the morning. Otherwise, the hot water runs out.
Yeah. I have another. Let's see.
From what I was able to find out, there is, I think there's 3 hot water tanks, and 2 of them are busted. They've known about it for quite a while now. And they haven't done anything to fix it.
I'm getting double.
You're getting double.
Like double when she's talking.
I'll back out and come back. Yeah.
Okay. I'm putting people's names on blast tonight. I don't care, as you can tell. I did 16 years at OSA. You froze in the winters and summers were ungodly hot. That is Troy Swint. That is true, Troy. I just... So I got to figure out and ask Rita how to go about getting my chats to load on Restream.
I don't know.
Me neither. Because I have it on 3 platforms and they all should be coming over on Restream. So I don't know. So this here, Sammy, is a comment left on one of the DOC Facebook things. And this guy says they have blankets. They are not in a freezing situation. Staff will be sure they have what they need to stay warm. Family, rest easy knowing your loved ones are safe and warm. I write back, wow, really? Have you been behind the cement walls when it's cold? Those blankets they give, you are not worth it. They don't keep you warm. Even if you use all 3, you can barely stay warm. It's like they're the blankets that they give you are kind of like the ones that you would get from like the Red Cross, like during a storm. Sammy, can you hear me?
Yeah. I don't know what that is.
So they're pretty much like a woolish type blanket, but like has all kinds of things like from being recycled and made into a blanket, pretty much.
Christ almighty.
So the ex-worker for OSCI says, this has been an ongoing problem. I started working at OSCI in 1998, and yes, it is unbearable in the summers also.
Yeah, everything is fine.
Yeah, and that's, so the next audio call, let's see. That's not what I want. So the next one would be Snake River, and this lady was.
Hi, how can I help you?
Yes, I'm trying to talk to somebody about the heating and the water within the facility, of why it is not on for the offenders.
Oh, the AICs. There's heating and water. Hold on 1 second. I'll see who else would. 1 second.
Okay. So there is supposed to be this long break because she took forever to go get information.
Are you still there? Do you have the SID number?
I'm not reporting anybody's information. I am calling on behalf of offenders within the institution that have reached.
I know. No, I didn't know if you wanted to be forwarded to their counselor so you can talk with them. But the heat and the water is on throughout the whole institution.
According to offenders that have reached out to me last night, there is no heat and people are freezing like ice.
Yeah, no, there's heat and water everywhere.
So why would the offenders be reaching out to activists saying that there is no heat and they're freezing?
I have no idea. That's why I'm like, I know you don't want to put anybody's number or name out there, but do you know what complex they're talking about?
I know.
Maybe.
Well, they said one of the complex, but it was also, they said it was institution-wide, that there was no heat, that people are freezing, and they have to go outside to go to work and come back, and they're even colder after they go to work and stuff. And I know for a fact that the heating within DOC is garbage, because I was a AIC. So I believe that something needs to be looked into. I believe the offenders are saying the truth when they call out to activists to make these calls into the facilities about not having heat and they're freezing.
Okay. No, we don't know what complex I would take them to the physical plant, maybe? Sorry, I just want to make sure. I don't know who to direct the call to.
Can I get your name by chance?
I'm sorry, I'm just covering a break right now, but hold on. I can even give you to the physical plant, to the manager, and maybe, they deal with the heating, so we can ask them if there's been any outages.
Okay.
Okay, 1 second.
Thank you.
I'm just covering. I just work here.
Yeah. So she transferred me out to the physical plant, and of course he doesn't answer. I call back at. Hello.
Hi. This is Andrea Dominguez from SRCI.
Hi.
Bob Miller forwarded your phone call to me, or your voicemail, sorry. And I was just calling back to get some more information.
Okay.
I don't have your name for starters.
Do I have to divulge my name?
I guess not. It's not that important, but I just would like to know who I was talking to. But
okay, my name is Steven. Can I get your name also, please?
Andrea Dominguez.
Okay.
We were just wondering if you could give us more information on where, what part of the prison site did they give you, their unit numbers or anything?
So I heard it's on one of the pods, on one side, but also they said that it's on multiple of the units as well.
Did they give any other information? I mean, our systems were all checked this morning. Everything's in working order. So as far as we know, everything's fine. But if you've got more specific information, we can have it checked further.
So the info I got last night is one side.
One side. Okay. So were there any specific units on one side or just one side in general?
I did not get a unit. I just know one side in general.
Okay. I mean, if you want, if you have specific inmates that contacted you, or that I mean, we're happy to talk to them too directly to find out what's going on.
I'd rather not put inmate information out there as to retaliation.
Okay. Well, I will talk to our facility staff then, and we'll see what we can find out.
Okay, so I have another question.
Yes.
So when I called earlier, I was transferred to Bob Miller due to it being a physical plant issue.
Right.
So who technically, if it's a heating issue, who technically should I be talking to?
Well, Bob Miller transferred you to me because I'm the public information officer.
Okay. So if I have to call again, I want to ask for the public information officer?
Sure, you can do that.
Okay.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good day.
All right.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Tina Campbell, Executive Assistant to the Superintendent at SRCI. I'm either away from my desk or on another line, so please leave a message with your name and a number where you can be reached. If you need immediate assistance, please dial 0. Thanks and have a great day.
Corrections. I have received multiple. So yeah, that's pretty much just a voicemail to the assistant superintendent, and she has yet to respond back to the voicemail. Hello?
I'm just.
Oh, okay.
I'm stunned.
Yeah.
It's mind-blowing.
Do what?
It's just all mind-blowing. I can't wrap my mind around it.
Yeah, and the thing is you reach out to the media. Well, then the media in turn reaches out to DOC, and DOC's like, everything's fine. Well, okay, you say everything's fine, but these men are reaching out to us and their family and saying that it's not fine, but the media won't run with the story because DOC says it's okay. So it's just aggravating that we do this push, calling DOC, and they're like, oh, it's fine. But then, the men and women behind call and say, no, it's not fine. It's just, ugh.
Is it just calls that you have?
So this here is actually messages to a loved one. It
Provide those to the media.
So I've told the media about all my information I have, and I've sent it to one media lady, and she was going to do a story on it, but the news agency's like, oh, well, we have a different story you need to work on, which was the ice storms that we just had. And so she didn't get to do the story. So I pitched it to another media agency, or two more, one over in the Snake River area. And they said that they reached out to DOC, and DOC said the heat's working fine, and pretty much said that they can't do a story. Which I have their response from the news guy. So this is the news agency that I got a hold of they're a newspaper over in that area. What did I just do? Now I'm switching pictures. And it says, at SRCI, is the heat broken or what's the reason? I'm like, from what I hear or heard, they don't have it on and guys are freezing. This is being reported on one side of SRCI, but the AIC's family I have heard from said it is happening on all units. And it says, Stephen, we checked into your information. It is wrong. There has been some issue with hot water, but authorities say no issue exists with heat. Operation as normal. I'm like, so I just received another update from a family member that her son is in there, and he says that his unit that he is on is freezing cold and there is no heat in the cells. I have also reached out to Snake River, and they're telling me the same thing. So I don't know if they're telling us lies because they don't give a rat's or what. And so they're telling the same thing to the media. So in the end, the media is not going to, pick up the story.
Because they take it as gospel.
Correct.
Which leaves what option?
The only option it leaves is to keep calling and pushing for something. And, only so many people in Oregon will do it. I called Snake River and OSCI on Thursday, or was it Friday? And, I put out phone numbers, but who knows how many people technically calls and asks, hey, why is there no heat in the units? Why are the men saying it's cold?
What a fucking circus.
So I just got a message from a lady that her husband is over at Snake River and said that he put a grievance in about the heat in 2021 and got a response in 23 that they're fixing the TV cable. So they're not even they responded about TV and not the heat.
And that grievance was put in 3 years ago?
Yeah, and they didn't respond until 23.
Okay, don't they have a time limit on grievance?
Correct.
They have 20 days or something?
I think so, something like that. But she also sent me pictures of her husband on a video visit, wearing all the light, thin beanies. But she also said on Facebook, it says, they are thin wool blankets. OSP is very old facility and everything needs repair. Snake River is the worst one in terms of how staff treat the AICs. Mine is in DSU, the whole, for investigation right now. There are no blankets at all. You have to buy them, but you can't keep them after you go on mainline. But you ask for one and they can accuse you of drug use if you look like you are hot or cold.
Yeah, it's never their fault.
Yeah, and that's the thing is they want to play that everything's okay and it's not.
But apparently it worked.
Yeah. And then see, this response here is from another news agency, the Oregonian. It says, I called DOC to inquire and they checked with both facilities and reported the heat was functioning. So the heat's functioning. So, okay. The tier could be hot, but as soon as you go into a cell, you're colder. I got a phone call yesterday or day before from a guy on a unit, and he said that he was on the top tier, about a quarter way down just from the heat vent where the heat comes into the unit, and he said it was blowing cool air. But you want to say that the heat's working.
Why does no one question the DOC?
Fear of retaliation?
Correct.
No, I mean as far as the news outlet.
So I don't know why the news outlet won't like push for accurate information.
Makes me wonder if maybe they're in the DOC's payoff.
They might be. It's just, you know, people can only push so much, but it's more of a power thing. The more people that can push, you know, the more that they hear from others. But if you're like me, I push and then I get pushed back on because I put out information that people don't like taking in drugs into the facilities, and then I get booted off of Facebook pages.
Yeah.
Oh, did I just say that out loud? Whoopsie. Oh well. I have proof on that one too, but you know, nobody wants to see it or hear it on Facebook.
I've seen it and heard it.
Well, I know you've seen it and heard it. So this one is from another loved one on the inside at Snake River. So her message to her loved one was, I know they're at Snake River. It's saying the weather is supposed to be really cold temps, like 19 and 16 degrees. Do you guys have any heat in the cells? With the colder temps, are they handling out thicker blankets or anything? Someone said one side doesn't have hot water. Do you guys have hot water on two side? And he wrote back, says, it is dumb cold here and just supposed to get colder. We do have hot water for now, and I don't know about three side. No thicker blankets either. Just the same blankets we've had and the long johns. Next weekend, I think it's supposed to be into the single digits. As far as heat, I don't know if it's blowing or not, but I can tell you there's cold air still coming out of the vent. LOL. And then this is the same person. And she says single digits. And seriously, they expect you guys to stay warm with two very thin blankets and the long john. Complete BS, babe. I'm so sorry. It is truly inhumane how this is for you guys to have to endure. Cold air coming out of the vents. Wow. Yes, they expect us to stay warm with that. I also have a jacket and cap I could wear under the covers with my clothes and long johns. LOL. They took Hallmark Channel off our channels, and then it talks about TV stuff. But I also just heard back from her that his cellmate has offered him to give him his long johns because he's not as cold as this individual.
I feel like they're going to push them to the point of needing to bunk together and then punish them for it.
Well, yeah, because they'll consider that PREA.
Yeah. Anything they can do to make them more miserable, it seems like that's their main focus.
Mm-hmm.
They give no shits about anything.
Correct. So a person watching on Facebook says, I have contacted Oregon Justice Center superintendent all the way to Heidi Stewart, who was the assistant director. She blocked me. The units are warm in the staff bubble and they are okay in the tiers, but actual cells are not, especially the ADA cells, as they are in the corner. But if you push, suddenly they get your loved one into investigation. Retaliation is bad at SRCI.
Yeah. Well, they're just going to take the CEO's words for it. And they are entirely too lazy and just don't care enough to go actually step into the cells themselves.
Yeah, and that's like talking with my informant, one of them. It is the cells. The tiers are warm. So if staff would get off their lazy behinds, go sit in a cell with what an AIC wears, then tell me that the heat's on. Give me a report from the staff, that's set in that cell.
And here's the thing: there's a few good staff over at OSCI,
Mm-hmm.
and they have seen other staff sneaking in little mini portable heaters into some of the. Because I know that some of the offices are like old cells, and hiding them in there so they can plug them in and stay warm themselves.
Yeah. So Unit 3, which is the mental health unit, they have 3 or 4 cells in there that they use for the mental health providers or the BHS workers. And they bring in their own little heaters because they're in a cell and it's extra cold, not like the regular staff areas.
And that illustrates our point right there. It's in a cell, not where the regular staff is, and it's freezing cold.
Yep. Because I remember going and seeing my mental health worker and walking to the cell and it's cold. I was like, what in the world? She's like, I have to deal with it or I have to plug in another heater.
I just cannot believe they're still getting away with all of this stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's just dumbfounding, after spending just over, well, say 6 years at OSCI and then getting out and then now not having power since, I just got it back a little bit ago. It reminds me of being in prison as cold as I was because you get cold, the cells are just as cold as my house was this past day. It's like,
yeah. And that just that illustrates how the treatment there gives them everybody that ends up either working there or having to be housed there PTSD.
Yep.
In one way or another. You can't come back out and function normally and go through things like this where you may or may not lose power or end up cold without automatically mentally being transported back there.
Mm-hmm. That's like I told a guy in at Two Rivers tonight on the phone when he called me. I'm like, this cold reminded me of being in prison. He's like, I bet it did. So Paula Kinsu on Facebook says, no heat in Michigan's women's hiring valley. Sammy, do you know anything of that one? I think Sammy's frozen.
Yeah, I've been having quite a few technical difficulties myself. She'll be back.
Yeah. Oh, Huron Valley.
Huron Valley, yeah.
So the women's prison over there has no heat. Wow.
Yeah.
It's just dumbfounding how these people get away with it. It's the only women's
prison.
It's a nationwide
problem.
Huh?
Yeah, it's a nationwide problem, and that's
is.
the sad part. It's not just here; it's everywhere.
Yeah. It's the only women's prison in Michigan. Vents are blowing cold air.
And they're going to justify that by saying, well, it's not as cold as the air outside, so you guys are fine.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, there's a part of me that wonders if they don't want to spend the time and money to fix that because it's going to take out of what money they're able to take off the top and stuff in their pockets.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what one of the food coordinators did. She would buy you the crappiest food or the cheapest food and pocket the rest.
Yeah. And here a while back, there was some work done and there were supposed to be machines installed, and it didn't happen. They ended up waiting throughout the winter to the next summer, and it still didn't happen. And turns out there were no machines to be installed at all. They
Yeah.
couldn't find them on site anywhere. And when anybody ever asks, oh, well, what happened to this or what happened to that? They're like, oh, well, we did this or that. They never ask to see the receipts or paperwork or anything.
Of course
There is
not.
no accountability whatsoever.
Of course not.
And I can give you more details about that when,
Yeah.
at another time. But yeah, they have. Like, I know in pretty much any other industry or sector, if there's money spent through a business and the powers that be want to know where their money went, you have to show receipts and purchase orders and work orders and a paper trail to prove where that money went.
Yeah.
It's not like that with the DOC.
No.
They're asked and they give an answer, but they give absolutely no proof, and people are okay with that because, oh, it's the DOC. You know, they take care of inmates who break the law, not considering the fact that, maybe they have been studying inmate behavior and are criminals themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's the thing is, speaking of that, I hopefully sometime soon with the medical stuff, what was I going to say? Oh, they're supposed to, if they don't adequately put out the information on the deaths within DOC, they're supposed to lose 10% of their pay. You know, their money that they get from the federal government. So I'm going to be looking into that here soon.
The only concern I would have with that is it going to end up making them treat the AICs even worse because they're angry?
Oh, asking for
Like it's a catch. This every single angle that we can look at anything is a catch-22.
correct. That's why
it's all gonna blow back on the.
Yeah, it does, and that's the crappy thing is definitely when you have ones in there that you support, like you have one or a couple. I have a couple I talk to.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what are they gonna do? So.
Yeah, I have people I care about at 4 different institutions here in Oregon. And there's very similar problems, and then of course, there's so many problems at each one. And there's no way to either climb the chain of command or make phone calls. There's no accountability whatsoever. There is nothing but retaliation and blowback that hits our loved ones when anybody questions anything. How is this going to get fixed? We have no way to fix this problem without causing more suffering. The system is so incredibly broken.
So Paula says prisons are making so much off the skin of prisoners. Tons of scams everywhere you turn.
Yeah, it's slave labor. That's all it is. It's a business. The prisons are not for rehabilitation or to keep the public safe or anything like that. No, it is a business, period.
And then the ex-employee says the kitchen at OSCI, the vent system had recycled air, so the kitchen was so cold you could see your breath in front of your face. I believe it.
Yeah.
There's sometimes you go into the chow hall to eat and it's colder than, dirt in there because they got the ceiling fans going. They got the, the dock door open and. Sammy, are you there?
Even in the visiting areas, you can be in there for a certain amount of time and it's warm-ish, and then all of a sudden, cold air starts blowing.
Yep.
I've experienced that recently.
I don't know what's going on with Sammy's connection or if she even can hear us.
Can we hit her up in the chat?
I don't know if she uses the private chat, but I text her. and didn't get nothing back. Kind of fell asleep. I don't know.
It's a little past my bedtime too. I totally get it.
Well, she's 3 hours ahead, I believe.
Mm. Yeah, then it's almost 1 o'clock in the morning if she's 3 hours ahead.
Yeah. Well, she has a little glow around her like she was talking, and it just paused in the middle of her talking. So I don't know what's going on.
We're pushing an hour right now, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to drop off in the next 4 or 5 minutes myself. I have work I gotta get up at 4:30. So.
Oh, goodness. I know. I
Wow.
got an email back finally from the teacher saying it's okay that my homework's going to be a little late. So
I would hope so.
well, me too, because he just got power back too. So
yeah. And I had planned on possibly going for visits tomorrow, but I had received word that they're already talking about shutting down visits for the day tomorrow because several departments are going to be closed or something like that because of the new storm warning, because we're supposed to get, I think it's in effect from 10 a.m. tomorrow till 10 p.m. Well, I don't see how that
for
would affect
Salem
morning
or
visits for the valley.
for the valley.
Yeah.
See. So it's
So hopefully
24 degrees here now. Tonight's low is 18, so that dropped because tonight's low is only supposed to be 21. So it's dropped to 18 now for here.
The low here is supposed to be 10.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Yeah, I'm not excited.
Me neither. I'm glad my heater's back, or power at least, because I can turn the heater on in the bedroom too. So tonight's low in Salem is. What in the world did my computer just do? What happens when you're triple tasking on the computer, I guess.
Okay.
So the low in Salem tonight is 12. Ice storm warning for Salem.
Yeah, I mean, and right now it's 21 degrees there right now.
Yeah. They haven't updated nothing for 12 hours, but it says they're online. So who knows?
Maybe they're watching.
So they might be. My other thing is I talked to the guy over at Two Rivers. So the canceling of the visitation here in the valley is like rampant right now, right? Due to the weather.
Yeah.
Okay, so over on the east side, so Two Rivers and Snake River and EO and Powder River and Deer Ridge, and then Warner Creek down on the border of California, you never see them closed.
Yeah.
So it's like, why close ours if you don't close the others? Why not? You know, they want to say they have these rules in place of like, the mailroom or discipline DRs and stuff. You know, they have these OARs for all that. But when it comes to visiting and the weather, it's totally different. They're not in what's that word? They're not aligned pretty much. You know, that side gets to do whatever they want. This side gets to do whatever they want.
Right. Like, I understand that those areas are more accustomed to this kind of weather. They're typically more like a plains type areas, flatter, and that kind of stuff. However, I don't see staff not making it to work. Yeah, they may be staffed, but there's also going to be less visitors. It should be up to the visitors whether they're going to take the chance and travel or not.
Correct. Yeah, I just don't. I don't understand how they decipher from prison to prison. Same with like the mail. You know, some of the institutions allowed my cards to go through, and then other institutions, that was not me, I promise you, because I would have muted my mic. Anyways, that's part of having a celly that, yeah. Now I don't even know what the heck so OSCI and Snake River has allowed the cards in, but the one Coffee Creek and the others sent them back.
It's ridiculous.
Like, it is. And then I just got the ones back from Powder River and said that they can't find the person, but then yet the person's information is on the back of the card.
Yeah.
And you call
they can't even keep,
well,
it's not surprising that they can't keep the information straight between the prisons. They can't even keep it straight in one prison.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And then you call the head of security, which is the head of the mail room. That's his job, as head of security, which is the mail room. And he don't even answer the phone nor call you back.
No.
So it's like, well, how are you supposed to get information if nobody wants to answer their damn phone? So she told me that I either need my first and last name on there with the organization, or she said that so I was like, well, what if I just put the organization on the envelope? Would that go through? She's like, it should. So no definite answer.
Yeah, they don't want to give a definite answer. They want to make things as difficult as possible. They want to be able to have plausible deniability and to refuse whatever they choose to refuse.
Yeah.
Without having to give a reason that's specific.
Yeah, and it just makes things harder for people to try and help others when they don't want to give definite answers. So I think this is going to be it. We are just over an hour. I will be doing another video because I'm sure we're going to get more from the inside. I reached out to the others that I have, just waiting for more responses from their loved ones that are on the inside to see if there's any more to put out. I'm going to be reaching out to more media and see if they want to try and push them to do this. And if not, then I'm just going to keep blastering all over the internet, and hopefully people start sharing it out, because my TikTok one has, I think, almost 400 views on it about the heat.
Yeah.
And people complaining. I had a lady named Jen who commented on the video, and it sounds like her loved one's over at EO. So the more we put out, the more responses we're going to get to be able to push out more on the situation.
I'll reach out to my person at EO too and see what they got going on.
Yeah, so in any, as long as you think they're credible and what they're saying is right, then we'll put it out, or I'll put it out, because I don't give a fuck about DOC right now. They can go suck a what and get over theirself, because they've already came at me once and told people on the inside I was a troll. So therefore I'm gonna be a troll. You don't like it, you can.
Right. Yeah, I would love to be able to blast more louder with my face and my name out there, but my loved one is suffering retaliation as we speak and has been for a while.
Well, yeah, so. And I get that, and that's like I've told all these people on Facebook that I talk to periodically. Hey, if you have something you want put out but you don't want to, just let me know and I'll put it out, because I could give a rat's ass.
Yep.
So
I'm so proud of you, and thank goodness for you. We need people like you.
Yes. Well, the thing is the only way I get to do what I'm doing is because of people like you and these other ones that have reached out and added me as friends or sent me information, because I can only go off of my experience of what I went through while in OregonDOC. So with you guys as a whole, through the groups, besides the one that wants to, I have to send you something later, want to boot me from groups because of accurate information and not write me and say, hey, you said something against our rules, we're going to boot you. But if you have the information that like what is it? The proof to show that you're not lying, then we'll see what we can do. But now this biatch is going on other platforms or on other Facebook pages and promoting her boyfriend to get pen pals so that he can use these women to get money.
Yeah, it seems like a real credible person.
So, and then she takes drugs in and tells all these freaking people, I have a recording, but nobody wants to hear it because I went anonymous on a freaking post. Well, yeah, there's a reason behind it. If they didn't want anonymous post on Facebook, then they would get rid of it on their page because there's an option to be able to have or have not anonymous.
I'm a mod for a couple Facebook groups, and I approve and deny posts regularly.
Yeah, and so it's like, open your freaking eyes. But you rather a drug dealer or a drug addict or whatever you want to call her in the group and to go do a rally.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually just gave somebody, like someone brought her up to me the other day, and I was like, oh yeah, she is definitely not the one. You don't want anything to do with her, and this is why.
Yeah, and that's why I put it out there, but I get booted because I want to be anonymous. And I went against the group rules. What rule did I break? That's what I want to know.
I should go submit that recording anonymously.
I double dog dare you.
Alrighty then.
Because I can't do it. I can't support it anonymous. Well, the mods can see who it is, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't care. I honestly don't even care if they boot me from the group.
Yeah. So from another one that was a mod in there, that group has gone downhill.
Yeah.
So they can take that group and shove it up
their
their
I could care less if I'm a part of that group, honestly. There's other groups that I utilize more. But I think it is important that somebody knows something.
Well, yeah.
About
and
it.
The thing is I got into all the groups just to put out information about DOC. You know, help people. You know, like I'm doing now, you know, the weather, the heat, you know, put out the information. Hey, yeah, it could be hot on the tier, but when you go behind that cell door, you're colder than fuck.
Yep.
Oh, bye, Sammy.
Yep.
So it's like, people, open your eyes and see who's fighting for your loved ones behind the walls. Look at them. Look at what they're doing. You know, this lady has put out the information that she did what she's saying to the SIU that she didn't do. Hello, people. Open your eyes.
I'm laughing because she got away with it.
Yeah. Well, guess what? Not much longer.
No.
So
there's got to be some kind of justice.
There has to be. And it's the way that these groups are ran and the way DOCs ran, it dumbfounds me. But what can we do? All we can do is push and fight and find the ones that are wanting to fight the fight, that are fighting for the right reason.
Yep, and just get loud as possible.
Yep. And hopefully come spring, we'll start going out and doing more protests and stuff like that around the state.
Yes.
So with that being said, is there anything you want to say regarding anything that we talked about tonight or anything off topic?
Not off the top of my head, except for maybe anybody listening or watching, blow them up. Like, and not physically, of course, but tag Tina Kotek, tag Mike Reese, tag OregonDOC. Let's get something going here. We can't just sit here and hope for the better, because it's not going to get better unless we do something big.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to try and start doing with people on my Facebook is anytime you leave a comment on my page, do the @ Oregon Department of Corrections, @ Tina Kotek, @ Mike Reese, and any news agency that you think would pick up the stories that we put out, you know, because technically I'm considered a independent journalist. I just don't have a network that puts out my investigative work, I guess you would call it. So that's why I rely on now all my platforms that I'm a part of, and including TikTok.
Absolutely.
So,
all right. Well, thank you for having me.
you are very welcome. Thank you for joining. And this will
Absolutely.
be saved on, I believe, Facebook. You can rewatch it, and on YouTube and Twitter. So if you are watching, please share it out to anyone that you think can use the information that we put out tonight. If you have any questions or concerns, leave it in the comments on either page, or if you're on Facebook, you can send me a DM. My messaging is open to anyone regarding this information. If you leave a comment on YouTube or Twitter, I can send you my email address. I need to actually put it in the links below. I might do that after the live is over. And yeah, everybody have a good night. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please do not hesitate to send them my way. If I cannot answer them, I will find out a way to get you the answer that you need for your question.
Okay.
Alrighty, I am going to end this here. You have a good night, and I will talk to you later.
Stay safe and stay blessed, everybody. Good night.
You too. Have a good night. Bye. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you for watching and joining us here tonight on Department of Corruption Stories. That will be it for this one, and I will see you all on the next one. Have a good night. Oh.